Good evening, Santa Monica. I'm Mayor Gleam Davis, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to the 2023 State of the City. City Manager David White is here with me to reflect on 2022 as we look to work with you to shape the year and years ahead. I feel honored to serve as your mayor alongside my colleagues on the City Council, Mayor Pro Tem Lana Negrete, and Council members Phil Brock, Oscar De La Torre, Christine Parra, Carolyn Terosas, and Jesse Swick. As a council, we thank you for joining us to stay informed about what's happening in this community that we all call home. I also want to send our thanks to the members of our boards and commissions. Your thoughtful consideration and recommendations regarding important issues are essential to the work of the council and to an informed and thriving community. We appreciate you and your service to our community. I would also like to thank all of the organizations that work day in and day out to make Santa Monica a vibrant, engaged, and attractive place to live, work, own a business, and recreate. Thank you to all our local businesses and the Santa Monica Chamber of Commerce, Santa Monica Travel and Tourism, the Santa Monica Pier Corporation, and our business improvement districts for downtown, Pico, Montana Avenue, and Main Street. And a special thank you to our world-class educational institutions, Santa Monica College, the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, and all of our local pre-kindergarten, elementary, and high schools who are doing the important work of educating youth here in Santa Monica. And finally, thank you to the faith-based organizations, arts organizations, advocacy groups, neighborhood groups, nonprofit service providers, and individuals that each contribute to robust dialogue and engagement here in the city we love. As you know, in the last several years, we've had to radically rethink local government here in Santa Monica. With my colleagues, I would like to offer my deepest gratitude to the dedicated and capable employees of the City of Santa Monica. In the face of immense change, this city workforce has had to be quick on its feet to meet community needs with fewer staff and fewer resources. You might not have seen it, but they rallied together to keep Santa Monica functioning during the COVID crisis. Their commitment to this city remains inspiring, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I last delivered the State of the City address in February 2019. The theme for my 2019 speech was Shaping a Changing World, and boy, did things change. So what have we learned over the last 3 years? We've learned that innovation and agility are key ingredients to survival. When the pandemic closed businesses overnight, the city quickly introduced a parklet and outdoor dining program to give businesses and customers safe spaces for commerce. It wasn't perfect, but it was a rapid lifeline. And now parklets and outdoor dining are a permanent part of life in Santa Monica. This type of agility is something we can harness to tackle other issues, guided by our value of innovation that is part of our community's DNA. We also have learned how imperative resilience and adaptability are to weathering the storms of our time. Our long-standing commitment to being resilient in the face of crisis is exemplified by our Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. But COVID demanded a special type of resilience, one that required us to change almost every aspect of daily life. Once we accepted this new reality, we had to bend quite a bit, but we did not break. While we lost far too many family and friends to COVID, our community adapted to the presence of the virus by taking measures to stop its spread and saved many lives. This adaptability will serve us well as we face the inevitable change the coming years will bring. And finally, we have learned that we can never let go of the tenets of transparency and accountability in everything we do. COVID tested the limits of public trust. As council members and public servants, we can only be effective when we have your trust and respect. And we understand that trust and respect are earned, not given. We will always resolve to transparently share our work and invite public participation along the way. And we also commit to hold ourselves to the highest standards of integrity. Santa Monica's voters elected us to act in the best interests of the city. And while there might be honest disagreement about what that is, we know that we cannot let the personal interests or biases of individual council members influence our decisions. Innovation and agility, resilience and adaptability, transparency, and accountability. How do we take the lessons of the last 3 years and translate them into meaningful future action? Through focus. Over the next year and beyond, we must stay focused. Focus will be my mantra as my time for mayor. To stay focused, we frankly are going to need to give some things up. There will be trade-offs in the name of getting things done. We cannot be distracted chasing minor problems that do not meaningfully advance our bigger, more urgent goals. City government and the city budget shrank during COVID, and we do not have the resources to be all things to all people or even do all that we used to do. We can still accomplish great things, but only if we spend our limited time and resources in a disciplined and targeted way. If we let ourselves get distracted, we set ourselves up for failure. So what should we focus on? Clearly, we all know that here in Santa Monica and in our region, addressing homelessness is a top concern. If we are to meaningfully reduce the number of people experiencing homelessness, we have to understand some basic facts. While the problem presented is found in its label, homelessness, we have to continually remind ourselves that each unhoused person is a unique individual. They are parents, children, siblings, friends, military veterans. Some have advanced degrees. Some are artistically or musically gifted. Some love animals. Some are gregarious, and some want to be left alone. Sadly, many, but not all, suffer with mental health or addiction issues. Almost all of our unhoused neighbors have been traumatized by life on the streets because they lack the most fundamental thing that most of us take for granted: a roof over our heads. Because each unhoused person is an individual, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. But we do know one thing: getting someone housed is the surest way to address whatever other issues they must deal with. We will never solve the mental health, addiction, and other medical issues we see every day if we condemn homeless persons to a nomadic lifestyle on our streets, or if we simply dump them in a criminal justice system that is not equipped and not intended to deal with this complex issue. As your mayor in the coming year, I promise to remain focused on this issue. I already am advocating from the federal level on down for more resources for housing and supportive services, and I am committed to working with other mayors in our region to address this regional issue. In the meantime, Santa Monica already is making progress. 114 new affordable homes have opened at 3 city-funded properties. City-funded outreach teams have made over 11,000 contacts with people experiencing homelessness. The city has granted over $8 million to community organizations, and we have housed over 140 people experiencing homelessness this year, all above and beyond LA County funded efforts. Thanks to community members who volunteered for the annual homeless count last month, we'll soon have results to continue to inform our street-based outreach. And a new report from Moss Adams will guide a strategic planning process to align and elevate the city's efforts to address this human crisis. Thanks to voters' passage of Measure CS, new funding will significantly add to our capacity, including a behavioral health strategy and therapeutic transport van program that hopefully will roll out soon. And if you like, you can become a force multiplier on this issue by volunteering with one of the city's grantees that is doing the hard work of meeting people where they are. I know this challenge is daunting, but we can make a difference. Cities such as Houston and Columbus, Ohio, have reduced their homeless population by significant percentages, and we are learning from their efforts. Like you, the City Council is impatient to see results. But doing the real work that solves the problem, instead of taking punitive measures that simply move homeless persons around like pawns on an inhumane chessboard, takes time. And so if you want to see results, help us stay focused on finding meaningful and real solutions to this humanitarian crisis. Another priority for the city is having a Santa Monica that feels safe for everyone. Even with diminished revenues, we've been able to add resources to maintain our incredible public spaces and to address community safety with Police Chief Ramon Batista, agilely redeploying resources based on both crime data and the perceptions of safety. All of us, from the city manager and the police chief on down, want everyone in our community to feel safe. No question about it. And you'll continue to see us relentlessly pursue this goal. But again, to meet this goal, we must remain focused on facts. Last summer, Chief Batista attended a city council meeting after a property owner had shared with several news outlets that the city did not have police patrolling our downtown throughout the night. Chief Batista was unequivocal. This property owner's claim was false. Our police department patrols all parts of our city 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And with the additional personnel that we hope to add in the coming year, you will see even more police presence throughout the city. But again, if we get distracted by having to respond to baseless fear-mongering and grandstanding about crime, it becomes harder for Chief Batista and our public safety officers to do the real work of reducing crime in the city. Finally, you can help us by making sure that we know where resources are most needed. If you see something, say something. If it's an emergency, dial 911. If you see something that is not an emergency but needs police attention, dial the police dispatch number at 310-458-8491. If you see graffiti or something else that might not need police attention but should be cleaned up, use the City of Santa Monica smartphone app or dial 311 to report it. Each one of us can be the eyes on the street that make the community safer and more attractive. And if you want to do even more to keep Santa Monica a safe place, you can attend the Community Police Academy to see firsthand how the Santa Monica Police Department protects us and what the work of police officers looks like up close. Or you could form a neighborhood watch group. If you don't have time for these programs, simply make it a point to say hello to a first responder you see on the street. Let them know how much we appreciate all that they do for our community. And as we talk about safety, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that an integral part of feeling safe in Santa Monica is knowing that it is safe to walk or use a bicycle to get around Santa Monica. As a Vision Zero city, we are committed to striving to eliminate traffic injuries and deaths in our community. That, too, helps make us a safer Santa Monica. Our final area of focus must be on rebuilding our economy. We are making gains. We helped Santa Monicans secure over $40 million in rental assistance from the state of California and an additional $750,000 for rent-burdened tenants in rent-controlled units. New investments are coming to Santa Monica with the Frank Gehry-designed Ocean Avenue project, the historic Miramar Hotel, Providence St. John's Master Plan, and many other projects. Large international events like the 2026 FIFA World Cup and the 2028 Olympics are tremendous opportunities to reinvigorate our local economy. As the host city for beach volleyball in the Olympics, we will welcome the world to our beautiful shore, our world-famous pier, and everything else our vibrant community offers. And don't let anyone tell you that our best days are behind us. Did you know that over 950 new businesses have opened in Santa Monica? According to the latest sales tax data, the year-over-year third-quarter sales tax gained 14.2% in the restaurant and hotel sector. Let's keep the momentum going, recognizing that the choices we make to buy local support our wonderful schools, more bike lanes, street lights, longer library hours, and crossing guards. To get you in the spirit of buying local, here's some homework. Get out to our business districts on foot or by bike. It's too easy to miss new neighborhood spots from the confines of the car. Take yourself on a self-guided walking tour to get reconnected with Santa Monica, or you can sign up for one of the Santa Monica Conservancy's great tours. If you need inspiration, may I suggest a stroll down Main Street with a stop at Holy Grail Donuts, Heavy-Handed Hamburgers, Aviator Nation, or a new spot for our furry friends, VCA Santa Monica Main Street Animal Hospital. Kai Ramen on Montana is a new favorite in my house, and I'd be lost without Melanie at Zane Color Salon. If you are in downtown, Trader Joe's, McConnell's Fine Ice Creams, Trejo's Tacos, and Chateau Beauty Bar all have recently opened there. Have you tried the delicious pizza at Emmy Squared on Colorado next to Santa Monica Brew Works? Or the cinnamon bun pancakes at Flapjacks on Wilshire, which is run by another local favorite, Brews Wiffle? What about Giant Isaac Bread or Hurry Curry of Tokyo on Ocean Park Boulevard? On Pico Boulevard, Nostalgia Bar and Lounge and Adriana's Hair Salon have opened, and Go Get 'em Tiger with great coffee will be there soon. Many businesses have shown that they believe in Santa Monica by coming here and opening shop. Thank them for it by supporting them. There's a lot to choose from, and I'm enjoying it all. And I hope I've inspired you to put on your walking shoes or hop on a scooter and support our small businesses to reinvest local dollars. But before closing, I want to elevate two areas that we all must consider as complements to our urgent community priorities. These are concerns that are foundational to all of our work. First, every decision we make must be consistent with reducing the existential threat of climate change. Just last month, the atmospheric rivers wreaked havoc on large swaths of our state. Despite heavy rains, we likely will remain in a historic long-term drought, and extreme heat and the threat of wildfires continue to threaten our region. The list of impacts caused by a warming climate grows each year. Let us be motivated by our youth, who through groups such as Climate Action Santa Monica and the Climate Corps implore us to make the changes necessary to save the planet for them and succeeding generations. I'm proud that we've been able to advance major initiatives like the Sustainable Water Infrastructure Project and City Hall East, the greenest municipal building in the world. With important projects like this, we show our commitment to a more livable future. But if we don't recognize that housing policy, zoning, transportation and parking policy, and economic policy all are essential parts of climate policy, we cannot call ourselves friends of the environment. So every decision we make must be grounded in the reality that almost everything we do, either positively or negatively, impacts the future. Second, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion must be considered in every action we take. If the programs and policies we create consider the needs of marginalized or disadvantaged community members, we'll strengthen our resilience and agility, prevent homelessness, ensure safety, promote well-being, and our economy will flourish. It is imperative that each of us commit to build and maintain a community where each person is welcome and each person is valued. I want to highlight a recent meaningful step that my predecessor, Mayor Sue Himmelrich, and the City Council took to acknowledge our shameful history of discrimination against communities of color. If you have not already done so, I urge you to go to the city's website and read our apology to the Black community for the many wrongs inflicted on it, including uprooting families in the name of progress and banning people of color from living in certain neighborhoods in our city. It is only a first step in recognizing and righting a series of historic wrongs, but I am proud to have been part of it, and I look to build upon it in the future. Words are important, but action is where we can turn the tide of history and chart a truly more inclusive future for Santa Monica. My colleagues and I will be bringing this value to the forefront of discussions on the City Council dais. In the meantime, I hope you'll participate in Black History Month programming in February and explore the Black and Latino-owned businesses featured on our city's website. Later this summer, we'll join our LGBTQIA+ family and friends in celebrating Santa Monica Pride. And throughout the year, we will host other events that highlight diverse cultures and heritages, and I hope that you will join us on these joyful occasions. There is a lot going on in Santa Monica, and we want you to feel connected to this city. Sign up for Samo News, our bi-weekly newsletter that is a quick read and shares upcoming events, opportunities like paper shredding and rental assistance, as well as the latest city news. As I mentioned before, if you see something that needs attention, like graffiti or a pothole, use 311. You can download the Santa Monica app from your smartphone's app store, which makes it easy to request a service from the city. Or as always, you can call or email 311 and our team will help you. When you need emergency services, we want you to have a positive experience. Here's a quick video to help improve your experience with dispatchers when you do have to call 911.
911, what's the address of your emergency? To help our public safety communications team better assess your concern and quickly provide information to first responders, callers should be ready to provide the location of the emergency, the phone number you're calling from, and a description of the emergency.
Where the emergency is taking place is the most important piece of the information we receive from the callers. If you don't know the exact address, be ready with a cross street or a landmark or a business nearby. Then provide the description of the emergency, including who's involved, what's happening, and when the incident occurred.
It's important to know that while a Santa Monica dispatcher is receiving information from you, they are simultaneously relaying your information to the public safety radio dispatcher. The radio dispatcher monitors all incoming information and assigns the call to an available emergency responder. In incidents where someone is in immediate danger, the radio dispatcher will relay information to first responders and share updates as you are giving the information.
Our public safety communications team is trained in emergency medical dispatching, asking specific questions based on the primary medical concern. We may also provide specific directions to provide the patient aid until firefighters respond. We are trained to provide directions for many types of medical situations, including giving directions on how to use an automated external defibrillator, also known as AED, or to provide CPR to someone who is unresponsive and not breathing. For other medical emergencies, we may provide general directions, such as not giving the patient anything to eat or drink, making sure they are in a comfortable position, and having the patient's medications ready to be able to share that information with the first responders.
Our job is to quickly assess calls to identify those that require immediate response. When working with a dispatcher, we ask that you listen, remain calm and patient, and answer all questions. Each question is meant to ensure your safety and the safety of Santa Monica's first responders. For example, in a medical emergency, you will be asked if a patient is conscious and breathing. If you need police resources to respond, you will be asked about vehicle or suspect descriptions and if a weapon is involved. Being prepared is key to ensuring the accurate handoff of information and the safety of everyone concerned.
I want to close my portion of State of the City by thanking you for being engaged in this community. I feel so lucky to have lived and raised my family here. And of course, I am honored that you have let me serve the city for so many years. I understand that with all the challenges we face, it's easy to forget that Santa Monica has many assets. The beach and the pier, great schools and great weather, profound commitments to sustainability and social justice. But its greatest asset is its people. Your commitment to this city is what makes Santa Monica so strong. If we work together and stay focused, we can make sure that Santa Monica lives up to its motto, happy people in a happy place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Davis. It is wonderful to be delivering my second State of the City. When I came to you last year, I had been with the organization for 4 months. This year's address is meaningful to me because I've seen the commitment and care of our workforce firsthand. I've been able to meet and interact with many residents, businesses, and community leaders that care deeply about Santa Monica, and I've worked closely with our City Council to shape Santa Monica's future. In reflecting on the past year, 2022 was busy with some very exciting moments. After being apart for so long, we reopened public facilities like City Hall and the Fairview and Montana Avenue branch libraries, and the 4th of July parade returned to Main Street. We heard your call for a clean and safe Santa Monica and deployed an interdepartmental team to support a vibrant and thriving beach and pier. We approved 2 catalytic development agreements, one with St. John's that will govern the redevelopment of their campus and bring over $10 million to address behavioral, health, and homelessness services in Santa Monica, and another multi-use project at Santa Monica and Ocean Avenue that was designed by our very own Frank Geary and provides over $50 million in community benefits. We opened the Sustainable Water Infrastructure Project that will reduce our reliance on imported water supplies and get us closer to a sustainable future. We opened the new Marine Park Playground and home to our 5th community garden site. Over 3,000 people attended our Juneteenth celebration at Virginia Avenue Park. our City Council warmly embraced and adopted a statement of apology to our African American community. And we dug into challenging topics like homelessness and housing and achieved a certified housing element. This barely scratches the surface of some of the highlights from 2022. Tonight, I'm excited to tell you more about the state of our city. After what is likely the hardest 3 years in this organization's history, I'm proud to share that we are rebuilding and recovering. We have a talented leadership team with Assistant City Manager Susan Klein supporting me in the City Manager's office, Chief Ramon Batista leading our police department, Fire Chief Danny Alvarez now with almost 1 year in the role, City Attorney Doug Sloan, and dedicated directors across multiple departments. With a talented set of leaders and a committed workforce, we are poised to make progress on our community priorities, addressing homelessness, safe and clean neighborhoods, and an equitable economic recovery. And as Mayor Davis shared, we will do this while advancing equity and inclusion, our long-standing commitment to environmental sustainability, and with transparency and accountability central to how we do business. I have a finance background, so I would like to lay the foundation of where we are as an organization by looking at the numbers and digging into our economic recovery. We are so very fortunate to have Gigi Decavalis Hughes and her team at the helm of our finance department, which has retained Santa Monica's AAA credit rating for decades. In 2022, the Government Finance Officers Association awarded Santa Monica the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Over the past 3 years, this community has invested over $5 million in 25 city programs to accelerate our recovery. From prioritizing basic needs like housing, food, and public health, to keeping our businesses open and workers employed by implementing permanent outdoor dining and zoning changes. Our work has gone above and beyond what other cities of our size could accomplish, and we remain in a period of positive economic recovery. Sales tax across a number of sectors continue to show strong growth. 2022 Q3 sales tax revenues show that many of our business sectors are recovering, with particularly strong year-over-year growth among restaurants, hotels, building and construction, and auto sales, which showed increases of up to 14%. People want to eat here and are enjoying outdoor dining opportunities citywide, along with our mix of casual and fine dining venues. Revenue from restaurants and hotels increased 97% from a year ago, and occupancy levels at local hotels continue to rise while room rates across the board exceed pre-pandemic levels. In the past year, 103 restaurants and coffee bars, 92 health and wellness businesses, 73 retailers, 65 beauty and personal care businesses, 35 fitness gym businesses, and 17 auto-related businesses have opened here in Santa Monica. What an accomplishment. The total number of monthly employees has steadily increased from 75,000 to 83,045, with noticeable increases in accommodation, food services, arts and recreation, and entertainment. The total number of businesses is 9,845. While undoubtedly some of the growth is due to inflation, the reality is that our results genuinely reflect our local economic recovery. In addition to all the businesses that have recently opened, our hospitality and tourism sector is poised for success and bringing new life and energy into our downtown and shopping districts as we look toward exciting events like 2026 FIFA World Cup and LA 28. There are new hotels in the works, such as the Miramar Santa Monica and the recently approved Frank Gehry multi-use project on Ocean Avenue. Frank Gehry is world-renowned, and the planned project will include a hotel, commercial space, residential units including rent-controlled and affordable housing, a museum, plus a public rooftop deck, interlaced by pedestrian paseos that will be open to the public. Along with these new investments, existing hotels are deploying significant resources in upgrades and improvements. And there are at least 14 major new investments in the downtown that will accelerate our recovery, including the Georgian Hotel, the Pierside Hotel, and Low Santa Monica. This speaks volumes and shows me we are moving forward. Many thanks to the Chamber, Downtown Santa Monica, SMTT, and all of our business improvement districts. We could not have gotten through these difficult days without you, and our recovery continues to hinge on our strong partnership. Revenues are steadily increasing, but to be economically resilient, we need to continue to diversify our economic base and attract a mix of businesses, leaning into those traits that set our community apart: our commitment to the environment and diversity, equity, and inclusion, our beachside locale, creativity and the arts, and our dynamism as an innovative, multimodal community. The arts are an essential part to our recovery, and it's been inspiring to see new art popping up around town, including the new Shepherd Ferry mural that just went up at the Pierside Hotel. Throughout 2022, the Art of Recovery program continued to put artists to work on Santa Monica's recovery efforts. Since November 2020, 35 projects have been funded, which has supported 215 artists and 84 arts producers and other creatives. Over 60 additional partners were engaged in collaboration on Art of Recovery projects, with 91% of grantees saying that their project connected them to Santa Monica partners they hadn't worked with before, which is a key goal of the program. Santa Monica is a place people want to be. Looking at the recovery of city services, we will continue to recover and restore vital city programs that have had service level cuts and reduced staffing over the last 3 years as resources become available. As we do this, we also must address one-time financial liabilities on the horizon. These liabilities stem from aging infrastructure such as Parking Structure 1 that needs significant seismic upgrades, a lawsuit against the city related to the California Voting Rights Act, and ongoing discussions related to claims of a sexual abuse involving a former employee. We are developing plans to address these one-time budget impacts. The plan centers on preserving community services and programs and the jobs that fuel those services. As resolution of our liabilities becomes more clear, we will communicate the impacts, as our recovery will certainly be hampered. Given the constraints on our budget, I'd like to pause here to weave in some of the themes that Mayor Davis shared. As your city manager, I am focused on making progress on our priority areas. To see the kinds of improvements I know the community expects, we will need to stay focused. I know the community is eager to see the expansion of library hours and after-school camps and clubs. I am too. I know our turnaround time on roadway and streetlight repairs is not what it was before the pandemic. The list of areas where there is need for more from this organization is not insignificant, and it is something we watch very closely. This is a time when we need the community's understanding and support as we rebuild our operations as finances and staffing allow. And hiring in today's market is a challenge experienced across industries, and we are not at all immune. Our staff vacancy rate is also high, and we know that you are feeling that. Thank you for reinvesting in this organization and in the other two city priorities of a clean and safe community and addressing homelessness. In 2022, Santa Monica voters supported Measure CS, GS, and HMP. Over time, these measures will bring in much-needed resources to support community priorities. Measure CS will provide the fuel to expand services to address homelessness, support and grow our police department to address public safety, and improvements to the safety and cleanliness of our public spaces. Measure GS creates a new funding stream to support homelessness prevention, affordable housing, local schools, and the creation of an 11-member oversight committee to advise council on expenditure guidelines and priorities. Measure HMP establishes a business tax on licensed cannabis businesses, and our community development department is in the beginning stages of developing and bringing forward land use changes needed to allow uses such as non-medicinal cannabis retailers to operate in the city. The new funds generated by these tax measures come at a critical moment and are a financial lifeline that will ensure Santa Monica sees results on the community's top 3 priorities. Now let's turn to an update on our 2 remaining community priorities. There is no priority greater than keeping Santa Monica clean and safe. But it's not just about statistics. We care about perceptions of safety as well. We want everyone to feel and be safe when they are carrying out their daily routines or visiting one of our vibrant neighborhoods. The Santa Monica Police Department, under the leadership of Chief Ramon Batista, is hard at work preventing and addressing crime when it occurs. We have a skilled and responsive police department that is incorporating new technology and deployment measures to meet evolving community needs. I am so very grateful for their courage, determination, and ingenuity. Some of the things I am particularly proud of from the last year include the results from strategic deployments. When we heard from community members about the prevalence of unpermitted vending activity, including the use of open flames on our wooden pier, our police, fire, public works, code enforcement, and city attorney teams worked together to direct unpermitted operations to a pathway to become permitted. During the busy summer months and then during the holiday season, this strategic deployment approach brought forward a higher level of visibility and proved to reduce instances of crime in high traffic areas, including in the downtown and 3rd Street Promenade. During the 6 weeks holiday deployment, we saw 95 fewer crimes than the 6 weeks prior. We know that catalytic converter and vehicle theft overall are challenges in every major city. In response, our police department has set up special operations targeting these types of thefts. This is the type of responsiveness and innovation our police department delivers and will continue to deliver in 2023. We welcomed 28 new officers in 2022, and we are recruiting more. If you're looking for a way to be of service working for the Santa Monica Police Department, now is an excellent opportunity. In 2020 and 2021, instances of crime were down compared to pre-pandemic levels. Our focused efforts in specific areas have shown measurable results. Santa Monica's crime picture overall is tracking closely with countywide data, with a 13% increase in Part 1 crimes in 2022 compared to 2021. The biggest contributing factors are property crimes, including larceny and auto theft. Incidents of aggravated assault and robbery have also increased. We take these matters seriously, and you will continue to see our focus on recruitment, officer deployment, and smart technology solutions. Santa Monica is not addressing this in isolation. I am convening with city managers in other West Side cities to collaborate on public safety issues. Turning to the Santa Monica Fire Department, which under the leadership of Chief Danny Alvarez received the highest rating a fire department can receive, a Class 1 designation from the Insurance Services Office. Our fire department responded to 17,400 calls for service in 2022, with a citywide total response time of 6 minutes and 5 seconds. The Fire Prevention Division completed over 3,800 building inspections, 1,500 new construction inspections, and investigated 21 fires. In response to the growing fentanyl crisis, the fire department initiated the Narcan Leave Behind program to reduce deaths associated with opioid overdose, and our community services department is partnering with our school district to keep our future leaders safe. We are watching this issue very closely and looking for ways to reduce harm and protect people from this deadly synthetic drug. The Community Response Unit, which is a special unit within the fire department that is specially trained to support people experiencing homelessness and other vulnerable populations, had its first full year in operations. The team was deployed to 312 calls for service, relieving 178 engine companies and providing 185 service referrals. We welcome 12 new recruits to our fire ranks, and the department is embarking on a strategic plan to guide how our fire department can best serve Santa Monica into the future. Now let's talk about the clean aspect of our clean and safe community priority. When I first interviewed to become your city manager, I was immediately impressed by our parks and public spaces. This is an important part of life in Santa Monica and one of our dedicated public works team addresses daily. As a snapshot, in 2022, this team responded to over 4,100 graffiti removal requests within 3 days, recycled over 12,600 tons or over 25 million pounds of green bin organics in just the last 12 months, collected over 1,100 tons or 2.4 million pounds of bulky items for residential and commercial customers, in addition to abandoned items left in alleys and streets. Repaved 2.9 miles of city streets, completed over 2,300 repairs to streetlights and sidewalks, replaced 40,000 square feet of decking on the Santa Monica Pier. The city's promenade maintenance and parking operations divisions, combined with efforts by private businesses and downtown Santa Monica ambassadors to provide extensive maintenance, sanitization, and custodial services daily in our downtown. Trash removal occurs 4 times a day, and staff service 200 trash cans throughout the district. A dedicated crew of 20 staff cover 2 to 3 million square feet daily to ensure the cleanliness and sanitization of streets, public restrooms, sidewalks, forestry, and promenade amenities. Downtown Santa Monica's 12 parking structures and 3 surface lots are monitored 24/7 by staff who routinely walk through and inspect each facility, including elevators, multiple times over a 24-hour period. I am so proud of the work we do and eager to work with our department leaders to address issues of crime, safety, and cleanliness in our community. The number one issue of our time is homelessness. It is an absolute tragedy that we have more than 500,000 people living without shelter in the United States, more than 66,000 people experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles County, and about 807 people experiencing homelessness in Santa Monica. These numbers are staggering and unacceptable. For many years, Santa Monica has treated homelessness as an emergency, and our comprehensive approach is effective. During the 2022 homeless count, Santa Monica saw an 11% reduction over the last count that was performed in 2020. We must do more, and we are at a critical moment with great promise to see positive change across every level of government. President Biden recently announced a commitment to reduce homelessness by 25% by 2025. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, a city with 42,000 people living without shelter, in her first days in office declared a state of emergency, signaling a commitment to improve conditions expeditiously. The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors unanimously supported Bass's declaration and issued their own. We are eager to seize this moment to work with our government partners, and also to seize the public support for our work affirmed through the adoption of Measures CS and GS, as I shared earlier. At their upcoming workshop in March, the Council will be considering funding allocations for resources that are available in the foreseeable future to achieve a clean and safe Santa Monica and to address homelessness, with more to come as these taxes come to life. So what do we do today to address homelessness? Our approach, which is rooted in best practice, balances compassion and enforcement. We connect people experiencing homelessness to services. We focus on keeping people housed and increasing the supply of affordable housing. And we work hard, day in and day out, to keep our community clean and respond to issues of public safety. In 2022, we achieved the following. The city's 3 street outreach teams made more than 11,000 contacts and provided direct medical or psychiatric services to 808 participants. Over 230 people were connected to temporary interim housing, and 45 people moved into permanent housing. Our police department received almost 20,000 calls for service attributed to people experiencing homelessness. And through the Homeless Liaison Program Team and Patrol, responded to more than 1,800 calls for service addressing encampments throughout the city. Our fire department received slightly more than 3,000 calls for service attributed to people experiencing homelessness. We know that without more housing, we have nowhere for people to go. Focusing on housing is proven to work in cities like Houston, which I visited last year along with city managers throughout Los Angeles County and County CEO Fecia Davenport. Here in Santa Monica, we are focused on producing affordable housing with more on the way. Here's a roundup of what Santa Monica has done related to housing and rental assistance over the past year. Santa Monica supports over 1,600 households with over $29 million in federal funding for local affordable housing. Over $39.5 million in state rental assistance went to 2,300 Santa Monica households to prevent homelessness since the COVID-19 pandemic began. $750,000 in funds were made available to support severely rent-burdened households in rent relief through the Rent Control Adjustment Relief Program. The first round served over 450 households, and we are processing applications for another round that recently closed. 100 new federal emergency housing vouchers were secured and assigned to individuals experiencing homelessness. Legal assistance was provided to over 590 Santa Monica households at risk of eviction to ensure residents remain housed. The Preserving Our Diversity program provided cash assistance to 200 low-income senior households. 134 new permanent affordable housing units opened in Santa Monica since 2020, and 297 additional affordable housing units are currently in deployment. We continue to secure additional federal funding to support affordable housing production and homelessness. Representative Ted Lieu has been critical in ensuring we tap into federal dollars, including $2 million for the Future Affordable Housing Project in downtown and a behavioral health strategy that is underway. A recent study completed by our auditor, Moss Adams, validated Santa Monica's approach to addressing homelessness. The report also provides us with a strong set of recommendations to optimize our work and move us into the future. I can feel the momentum around this issue, and I can see the path to the positive results I know our community is eager to see. There is more work to do, and I ask for your continued partnership and thank those of you who came to our point in time count 2 weeks ago. That kind of collective energy is what we're going to need as we steadfastly pursue this priority. Now let's turn to our social safety net and other programs that support community members from working families to seniors. We provided a safe and seamless school day for 1,900 Santa Monica youth and families through out-of-school time programming at Virginia Avenue Park, Police Activity League, and Crest. Our 5-star Santa Monica Public Library expanded service hours by 43% in 2022, and all branch locations are back serving the community. The library saw over 731,000 physical and digital items checked out and welcomed over 133,000 walk-in visitors and 517,000 virtual visitors. Library programs served over 18,000 patrons through 54 adult programs and 148 youth programs. Community recreation held 370 youth camps and classes with over 3,600 participants. The Swim Center hosted over 1,900 youth aquatic program participants and over 92,000 swimmers last year. 287,000 visitors came out to the Annenberg Community Beach House, which was named by the BBC as one of the top public pools in the world and received the 2022 Santa Monica Conservancy Stewardship. The Santa Monica Farmers Market increased sales by 37%. We launched the next 4-year round of funding requests for proposals for the Human Services Grant Program, which provides $8 million in contracts to 19 social service agencies with 35 programs that serve over 28,000 participants. 2,600 people participated in the Americana in the Park, a community concert series in Gandara Park produced by the city and McCabe's Guitar Shop. 34 commercial fitness trainer permits issued for training in the parks and on the beach, up from 11 in 2019, thanks to the reduction and elimination of quarterly use fees by City Council in August of 2022. Without a doubt, we strive and are eager to do more. There are a few initiatives on the horizon to keep in mind. First, next week, Freeze LA is coming to the Santa Monica Airport from the 16th through the 19th. Hosting such a venerated art fair in Santa Monica brings a host of economic benefits, while also connecting the event to local artists and arts organizations and leveraging opportunities to expand the arts at both the Santa Monica Airport and beyond. The Reframe and Acknowledge Together initiative was launched, a program that produces public art projects that center community voices with the aim of creating a more just and equitable Santa Monica. As an initial part of the City Hall mural Reframe focus, artist Glenna Avila taught a workshop on representation and belonging with local youth, and their artwork was displayed in the lobby of City Hall. More public events and activities are being planned for early 2023. We are beginning the process to reimagine the 227-acre Santa Monica Airport, which returns to local control in 2029. Finally, we are working on a behavioral health strategy, and we invite you to participate by sharing your perspective on what our community needs to support people with substance abuse disorder and mental health needs. We look forward to engaging the community in this important dialogue to shape a strategy designed for Santa Monica's unique needs. Without a doubt, there is no place to live, work, and play like Santa Monica, and there is no better place to be in public service. We are a fun, active, creative, sustainable, and determined city. For those of you that have met me over the course of the past year, you know the passion and energy I bring to this work. It is fueled by our tremendous, amazing workforce and our passionate, innovative community. We have a lot of work to do. I'm up for it, and I hope you are too, because when we come together as one city and one community with an open mind, we can tackle any issue, no matter how big or how small. Thank you.